13 is on your side.
The U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Michigan says he's leaving the job just as President-elect Donald Trump is set to be inaugurated.
But are those two things connected? 13 on your side's Josh Albert has sat down with attorney Mark Totten to find out. Josh.
Yeah, guys, I asked him if the inauguration was a factor. When he answered, he didn't factor in who specifically was taking the office, but what he did have to say was about respecting tradition for any presidential transition. But looking back on the tenure he did have over the last 2 years, he said he's proud of the work that was done.
The power of a U.S. attorney may not be known to everyone, but it's one that's likely directly impacting your community, prosecuting crimes on behalf of the federal government in a number of areas.
Violent crime, drug offenses that are poisoning so many people today.
Areas, among others, that this U.S. attorney knows impact
Extraordinary number of people.
Since becoming the U.S. attorney for the Western District of Michigan in 2022, Mark Totten has been at the forefront of a number of high-profile cases. Totten's office securing sentences from a bribery case against the state's former House Speaker to the case of a 17-year-old boy from Marquette who died after he fell victim, the attorney's office said, to a sextortion scheme.
You can never take away that pain and suffering that that family feels and that all of us have felt. And yet I know from talking with them that there was a measure of justice that was achieved by seeing that successful prosecution and sentencing, and then knowing the positive effects that is going to have on trying to prevent future such crimes.
But now Totten says he's leaving the post.
I've really been grateful for that opportunity, and I have every confidence that that work in our office here in Grand Rapids in the Western District of Michigan is going to continue.
Totten's departure coinciding with the inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump. While he ran as a Democrat in the 2014 race for state attorney general and was appointed to his current post by President Joe Biden, Totten says it was rather out of respect for tradition that he's stepping away.
The long-standing tradition has been that with the change in administration, that the previous U.S. attorneys would step down.
But whether it's claims of weaponization of the Justice Department against former President Trump or fears that the president-elect will now use it for his own purposes, politicization of the DOJ and its positions has become a concern for many. Regardless of who's in office, politicization of the DOJ's power is something Totten says cannot take place.
There is such a legacy within the Department of Justice of following the norms of independence and of impartiality.
As for what's next for him, Totten hasn't quite decided, as he says he has 6 days left on the job.